Hi, everyone. I hope you are having a great Wednesday morning. If you're new here, my name is Carly Bell, and I love doing machine embroidery tutorials. And I usually get together with y'all every other Friday for a live tutorial that we call Sip and Stitch. But today we are going to have a little me time. And by me time, I mean machine embroidery delivered. It is a subscription box service that I've been using since last summer, and I get a wonderful box every month that I love. And this month's box, I'm really, really excited about. So we are going to go through the April Perfectly Pieced box. All right, give me 1 second. So good morning. Tell me hi in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm like paranoid. Did I turn my microphone on? Let me know if you can hear and see me and everything looks okay. But I'm really excited to tell y'all and show you the April Perfectly Pieced. This is Quilting in the Hoop box that I got. And we're going to go through how to make this month's quilt block. And the thing I'm really excited about is every month they give you a special project. So there's tons of things that you can make with these quilt blocks. And I've been making a lot of pillows with them. But this month's project is a basket. So we are going to take a bunch of the 4x4 quilt blocks from that we got with the fabric in the box, and we're going to sew it together to make a basket. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. So, okay, I see the chat is working now. Hi, Teresa and Diana and Kathy and Paula. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody says they hear me. Good. Let me know in the comments, have you heard of Perfectly Pieced before? Have y'all watched one of my videos going through this? So that I know if we have some newbies, so I can go over like what it really is and why I'm so excited about it. So I've been doing machine embroidery for years, and my go-to projects are applique and embroidering on children's and baby items. And then I do a few projects for myself every once in a while. But lately I've gone down the rabbit hole of Kimberbell and looking at how to make quilts in the hoop and other projects. And Me Time is under the Kimberbell umbrella, and that it has all that same stuff that we love about Kimberbell, but in a subscription box. So that's why I signed up for it, because I already knew I loved Kimberbell. And what it is every month I get a box, and you have the choice. You can either get a physical box like I got and get fabric and notions and all those things in it, or you can just get the digital embroidery files. If you have enough fabric, which I don't believe you if you tell me you have enough fabric. um, but say you're not into the whole physical box and you just want to make the quilt blocks with what you have at home, you can also just subscribe for the digital downloads, and then you get an email every month saying, hey, you have a new file added to your library. You go and you download it and you start stitching. So it's a lot of fun. All right. Okay, so Delsey's saying that she's watched one of these videos before. Paula is saying she has had multiple boxes but has not done a project yet. Paula, open those boxes. Get to stitching with me, okay? If you have your April box already, get it out while we're talking, and start ironing your fabric and start cutting it, because that to me is like, these projects are fun, but at the same time, I get very intimidated by projects that are multiple hoopings and multiple steps. I'm usually like, I load a shirt on the machine, I stitch it out, I'm done, I'm ready to give it away to, for my kids to wear or as a gift. So it's like I complete a project, say in an hour. With these projects, they intimidate me because I know it's going to take longer and is multiple steps involved. So if you're doing that like me, use this time as you're watching this video just to open the box and iron out your fabric and look through all the instructions that come with the box, and decide which project you want to do. And I'm almost positive you're going to want to make the basket because you're going to see that's what we're going to make today. And I'm sure you're going to love it. I'm so excited about it. All right. So good morning, everyone. All right. And so Karen says she has 5 boxes and just ended it and loves it. That's the great thing about the subscription is that you can sign up and get the box. And then if you don't want to get it anymore, you could cancel it. The other thing I love about it is that you can sign up for it and say, they always show a preview of the next month's box. Like if you go to metimedelivered.com right now, you can already see a preview of what is in the May box. And you could be like, I'm not feeling that fabric or whatever. You can click skip and then you won't be charged for it. So that's another really nice thing, is that you can skip months so that you have the subscription, but maybe only get, 4 or 5 boxes a year and not all 12, and kind of play with it as you go. So that's a great option for you. So like I said, this is a multiple step project, which I am starting to enjoy more and more now. And doing these videos with y'all is like forcing me to get it done, because I guarantee you, if I wasn't doing this video, I would have not already completed 11 quilt blocks. I love that y'all this keeps me accountable. And I really like that about doing these videos, because if not, I would have had that box on my shelf and I would have just sat there and looked at it. Oh, I'm gonna get started tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do it next week. Yeah. So if you're like me and you put things off, use this video time that you're watching me to start playing around in your craft room and ironing fabric and cutting fabric and getting your project together. If you have your own fabric, going through it and picking what you want to use for that project. All right. So yay. Okay, so here we go. Stacy's doing good. She's working on Kimberbell's Oh So Delightful, which I think is is that one a new sewing quilt or a pillow? Stacy, let me know. I remember seeing the really cute Sewing Notions like wall hanging quilt that I really want to start, but I haven't finished my spring showers quilt yet. So I'm like, I'm not getting anything until I finish spring showers. Another like daunting project because there's so many steps. And Karen saying, I'm anxious to see the back. Me too, girl. Me too. Like as soon as I saw that was a special project, I'm like, okay, we need to do a video on it so it will make me do it. And also a warning, y'all been knowing me for a while. Sewing is not my first craft that I learned. Sewing is my most recent craft that I learned. I've been doing embroidery and projects on my silhouette with vinyl and sublimation and printing, like all those things for a while. Sewing, I'm starting to get the hang of it. So please don't judge me when it's time to start sewing the basket together. I'm doing this live in front of you. I'm hoping nothing goes wrong, but I'm really excited to put it together. All right, so let's jump into the box. All right, here is my craft table. So one thing, well, I'll show you this after. Okay, let's look at the box. Here's the box. So this is what I get in the mail every month. Beautiful box. And this is great to hold things in. Like when you're done, you can stick a sticker on here. And this could be, scrap fabric in here, or extra bobbins, or like your specialty threads, like something like that. You can use these boxes and then they stack so nicely on a shelf so everything looks neat and organized, and you put yourself a nice label on what's inside so that you can find all your things easily when you're done. And they're well constructed boxes, so that's what I like about that. I can reuse them to store things in, and they're so pretty on the inside. So perfectly pieced. And like I said, I was not a quilter, not a sewer before this, but apparently when you sew small pieces of fabric together to make a quilt block, it's really hard to get those perfect corners. And that's where they got the name Perfectly Pieced from. You are going to get perfect corners with your quilt blocks that are done in the hoop. So every month we get this nice insert that shows you everything in the box. So The first thing on the side here is showing you the orange pop rulers, which I'm going to use today, so you can see those in action. Everything that comes in the box, we have our kind of fat quarter bundle of fabrics. You always get a spool of glide thread. You get a set of the printed instructions, and you get a sewing notion every month. And this month is the wonderful Kimberbell paper tape. And you also get a card with a tip on it, on the back of it. And you can get all of your digital download files on your MeTime Delivered account. And you can easily get to that by taking a picture of the QR code and going straight to the site. And it tells you all the digital content. So every month you get a lot of information on instructions and then the actual files. Not only do you get the quilting files for the individual perfectly piece and all the different sizes, but you also get background quilting designs that you can use with clear blue tiles. And then we have all of the different fabrics, which is great because I pretty much used up all of my strawberry and this like almost denim looking fabric. And from this, I know exactly who made those fabrics. So I can go look those up online and buy a yard or whatever of them. Or I can go to my local quilt shop and go find those two particular fabrics if I want more. All right, so that's the insert. All right, this month's color is called Warm Gray. It's a really pretty beigey gray. Then we have the paper tape and then the fabric. Now, I want you to keep in mind, I'm showing you this fabric. This is after I have already cut out and used everything I need for 12 4x4 quilt blocks and lining for the basket. So I've already taken out everything I need for the project today. And this is everything I have left. So it's nice that you use it and then you still have some left. So it looks a lot prettier when you open the box. I did a horrible job of tying this back. But here is my little tip card. It says, when hooping a quilt sandwich, loosen your hoop as much as possible. If needed, ask a second person, hold down the hoop while you tighten the screws. And that's when my daughters, Abigail and Elise, I yell for them to help me. This one's my favorite. This is a Riley Blake strawberry design. I have very little of this left. But they gave me a nice piece, but I used most of it. So I might order some more of this fabric because I really like it. And then this is the denim fabric, which I don't have very much left of either, but I also really, it's kind of, what's the word that starts with a C, like chambray, something like that. They call this fabric. Is it on the card? No, it just says Essex Yarn Dyed Cadet by Robert Kaufman. That's the name of it. Then we have a lot of this like white fabric with this design and the little dots on it and kind of a tan color. I have this giant piece. So if you were making a pillow or a tabletop mat, something like that, this could be your backing. So they always give you a lot of one fabric that can be used as your backing. So I have plenty of this left for another project. I also have a decent amount of this pinky red. It looks like pinstripes, but the stripes are actually little tiny polka dots. And then this green fabric is really pretty too. So those are all the fabrics that come in this month's box. And like I said, I've already cut out everything I need for this project and have 11 quilt blocks made. So we're going to make the 12th one today. So I'm going to put this on the side. Let me show you what the blocks look like. So this is a finished block. So you can see all the fabrics that I just showed you, except for the strawberry. The strawberry is going to be used for the lining of the basket. So there's no, I chose not to do it on the quilt block, but it's in the lining. You can choose whatever materials you want to fill your block out of what you have. But this is what the finished block looks like, and you can see the quilting design on it. So it's all done in the hoop, and then you just cut it out when you're done. And it's done, you will need quilt batting. Because this project we are going to make a basket. We want the basket to have some structure and be not so flimsy, right? So some of the things that we're doing on this project that might be a little bit different than some past perfectly pieced projects we've done is we're going to use 2 layers of batting, of quilt batting per block. And they typically suggest that you use poly mesh stabilizer, but we are going to use a medium weight cutaway today. So you'll need your 2 pieces of quilt batting per block. And then I have all my pieces for the block already cut out. So let me jump over to the instructions. So these are the instructions that come in the box. So it's like 2 pages double-sided. And this shows you step by step how to put the block together. But we're going to go through that today so you can see it. All right. And then shows you when you're done. Now, in your digital library, where all your embroidery files are, there are extra instructions. And what I do is I print them out, and I've made myself a binder. So I have all the perfectly pieced projects that I've done. Like we made that house pillow. I think that was what, September? Yeah. So all of my previous ones in here. So now is April. And I print the instructions. You get a 2-inch, a 4-inch, a 6-inch, and an 8-inch option. And so what this is showing you is if you want to make 2-inch blocks, it gives you an idea of a project on how you can put those blocks together. And if you like this, it gives you the exact cutting instructions if you want to make this project. So if you take your red fabric, it shows you the best way to cut, 16 1.5 by 2-inch pieces, and so that you get the most out of your fabric, so that you have some nice leftover piece that is usable. This I love because, like I said, I'm not a quilter, so I haven't thought about those things that much. And when I saw this, I was like, ooh, this helps me a lot, because I probably would have not approached it this way. So it shows you all that. Now we're doing the 4-inch project. This is the basket we're going to put together today. And it showed me exactly how I should cut out my fabric, and it includes the pieces that are the lining for the basket. And then it shows you how to put together, once you have all your quilt blocks made, we need 12, it shows you exactly how to put it together. So I'll be following this today to create our basket. Look how cute it is. I can't wait to make this. And then they have a 6-inch block project. And your finished size is 18 by 18. So this is great for like a placemat for your table, or I like to turn them into pillows. And they have instructions on how to turn these into pillows in your digital content as well. And then they have an 8-inch project. So every month I print all those out so I can see, and I can go back and use these projects with any material in my craft room later. All right, so that's the instructions. I have everything cut out and ready. I also want to show you when we get to the actually sewing the basket, I have the pieces cut out for the lining. So like that's the bottom, the sides are the strawberries, and then we're going to make handles with this fabric. So all of that is ready to go when we're ready to sew the basket together. So in the meantime, you also, let me turn my iron on. You're going to want your iron on, because pretty much after each step, we are going to be ironing in the hoop each of these pieces so that they fold over and lay nicely. And I'm going to move all my fabrics over here so I could reach them. And let me get my hoop ready. So the finished 4-inch quilt block is actually 4.5 by 4.5. So it's not going to fit in your 4x4 hoop, but it fits in your 5x7. When I was making all of these, I actually made 2 of them in a 6x10 hoop so that I could make 2 at a time. So that helped me knock this out a lot quicker. So if you have larger hoops, you can fit 2 of the 4.5 by 4.5 blocks in a 6x10 hoop. And then in the past, I think I've done 2 8-inch, no, I can't. I did what, 2 6-inch blocks and my 9.5 by 14 hoop, my giant one, on my Altair. That's the machine we're going to be using today, is the Baby Lock Altair. But I only have 1 block left to make, so I'm going to use my 5x7 hoop and some cutaway stabilizer. And then we're going to go to the machine and start stitching the block together. Okay, let me get this to work. All right, so here's the machine we are using today. It's my Baby Lock Altair. This is a sewing and embroidery combo machine. So I'm going to embroider my blocks on here, and then I'm going to quickly show you how I change it over to the sewing mode, and then we're going to sew everything together. So I loaded my hoop. I have my design already loaded, and so there's really nothing I need to do. In your digital library, you get one file is actually piecing the block together. And then there's another file of the quilting, and I think they have some options. So you can stitch out your piecing part and then stitch out your quilting part. You can just upload the 2 designs on your machine and stitch one out and then the other, or you can go in your embroidery software and combine the 2 files. But I had this already done, so, oh, we need thread. I took the thread off to show it to you. Where did I put it? There we go. So I'm using the warm gray thread that came, oh wait, okay, came in my box. And I already wound myself a bobbin with this thread too to use when we're sewing the basket together. So I'm going to lower this, and the first step is going to show you where to place your batting. Karen is saying, where did I get the ruler tape on my hoop? I don't think I have any ruler tape on the hoop. This is the hoop that came with the Altair, and there are what's called registration marks on it, because this machine allows you can take a picture of your hooped fabric or item you're stitching, and then take a picture with your phone and upload that design to that picture to your machine, and then the machine will show it, and then you add your embroidery design and it shows exactly where the design will stitch on your item you hooped. It helps with like perfect placement. I don't think is it called IQ Designer? But that's what these hoops have, those registration marks special so that you can use that feature. All right, so I'm putting my 2 pieces of batting down right on top of my placement mark. I didn't have to tape any of them for this project, but I do use my little stiletto to kind of make sure everything goes like it should. But I'm going to lower the presser foot, and this is now just going to tack down the batting to the stabilizer. And it goes around twice. Diana asks, can the Christmas collection be done on the PE Brother 770? I believe so. I believe it requires a 5x7 hoop or bigger, but I'll double check that for you, Diana. I have my Christmas collection stuff. Now that I've been bad about, and I have not started. So we need to do a video on that so to make me do it. But here is just the tack down batting. Now let's go back to the craft table and trim it. All right, so here it is. And you do have 2 layers of batting to trim through, but it's not bad. So you're going to trim this just like an applique. Get that around, and then we're going to go back to the machine, and the next step, it is going to stitch out like the whole pattern. So you'll see, but it's going to stitch out everything to kind of give you a visual of how your pieces of fabric are going to go. But really, this whole project, it stitches out really quick. When you have all of your pieces of fabric ready to go, like I have all mine here, I'm going to set them on my table. It can go really quick. The only thing you're stopping and taking the hoop off for is to iron. So I have my ironed on. I have my ironed on, and right at my craft table so that we can quickly jump from the machine to my ironing setup and press each piece down. Also, what I love about this step for, someone like me who's not an experienced at sewing, it sews the cut line. So that outer edge is showing you where to cut your block out at. And then the inner, right where your batting is, that is where your seam allowance should be. So it's showing you right where you should line up your 2 blocks and sew them together. So that's really helpful for me as well. So that is the outline of the whole block. So you have those 4 pieces in the middle, long pieces here, and then the corners. So now we're ready for our first step. And I'm choosing to use the kind of cream fabric. And you are going to place it right on top. Let me show you. We are going to place it right on top of this bottom block. Things that I like to pay attention to is I want my fabric to at least go down a little bit below this line, because when we're done, it's going to stitch that again, and I want this to catch in that line. So I'm covering up that block and my fabric going slightly below that line right there. Okay, so that's where you want to place it, right side up for this first piece. The first piece is always right side up. And then you really don't need to tape it or hold it down. But now it's going to stitch across. Tacking, so not only is it tacking that piece in place, but that is also now the placement line for my next step, which is the red fabric. Now, in the instructions, it is going to tell you to trim this. Because I've been trying to do these quickly, I have skipped that. There's only one step that I trim, and that is when we have the red block here and we're going to another cream colored block, so that you don't see that red line underneath the cream fabric. But for this one, I'm going to skip trimming this. You can if you want to, but I'm using this line right here as a guide on where to place my next piece of fabric. And now we're going to be working from this point on right side down. So the right side of the fabric is down, and I got it lined up with that placement stitch showing me right. All right, and that goes right across. And you see that's where the overlap is occurring between the 2 pieces. It also, when you trim, it helps reduce bulk, but to be honest, with the basket, the bulk is probably better. So we've trimmed this now. I mean, we've stitched this, so now we can take this and pull it over, and now we'll go iron and press this really quickly. Okay, I'm working sideways here, but I have my little mini press, and all I'm doing is just giving that a good press, and that's it. And then we're going to go back to the machine and stitch the next step, which is going to tack that red piece down and also serve as the placement line for the next block above it. Now this is the one that I do trim, and I'll show you why. So this line here. Now if we put this fabric here and it's going to stitch and we're going to pull it over, you're going to be able to see that red fabric through there. And that's the whole point of the trimming. I think it's to reduce bulk and to not allow darker fabrics to be seen through lighter fabrics. So I just trim that like an applique right above that stitch line. And now we'll take my next block right side down and use this as a placement guide to show you right where to put your fabric. Oh, my needle came unthreaded, so I'm going to cut. All right, and my thread is all stuck up in here, so I'm going to try and not just pull it backwards, but pull it out as the path is going, and rethread. All right, and I could see it's already halfway through the block. I need to back up to the beginning of this step. So I'm gonna hit the needle plus minus button, and I'm gonna go back a whole step. And now it's at the beginning of this, and let's redo that. Okay, now we'll go back to the ironing mat. All right, and we can see, because I trimmed this, now this is covering the red, and when I pull this over, we're not seeing that red material through this lighter material here. So we're just gonna press that. And back to the machine. It's kind of rinse and repeat. All right, let me check the chat. Hey, everybody's saying this is a cute project. All right. Anne asks, how long have I had this machine? Let's see. When did I get this? I think I definitely had it for a year now, and I love it. It's a really, really awesome machine, and it's even though I have some big multi-needle machines, I still go to this one all the time because, for one, this is the spot where I sit at my computer. I have this L-shaped desk, and like right to the right of this is my my display and my keyboard, and I put my laptop right here. So I work a lot right here, so it's convenient. But it's so nice, and how well it works, and also it has really large hoops that even are bigger than my multi-needle machines. And I use it to sew as well. All right, so that is the last step of these 4 blocks. Next, we're going to stitch here and show where to put our green borders. So let's go back. And this is going to go down. Now, because the red fabric really doesn't get shown through this darker green, I also don't worry about trimming any of this. But like I said, in the instructions, they are going to tell you to trim after every step. Now, like I said, I was trying to get through it quickly and I didn't think it was necessary. So we have this line here. I'm going to take this green fabric right side down, line it up as that line is a placement. And now for me, I'm trying to make sure this bottom is going to catch my outer outline. So when the block is all done, it's this fabric with it. So that's where I line it up. And let that stitch in place. And another thing I did for this set of blocks to save time, and because the other times you are going to your ironing mat to iron because you have to get fabric out the way for the next step. For this step, the green fabric's not in the way. It's going to do another line here. So I'm going to not go to my ironing station and just just stitch this line, stitch this piece, and then I'm going to go to my ironing mat and press both of these sides. So same thing. I'm going to carefully put this green fabric, trying to get it to where it catches the top and bottom outline. And this is not stitching through my other side, and you'll see when we get to the ironing mat. I'm always like, I want to take it off. It's not done yet. Okay. All right, so we're left with this, but what we're going to do is open it up and now press it. So silly little things like this might be helpful for you to get it done faster. So I'm just pushing this. And now we're just going to press this in place. And then the last pieces are the corners, and we're going to do the same thing because the stitching doesn't interfere. So we're going to stitch each corner and then come back and press each of them open. And I remember this step, I did need my stiletto because sometimes the presser foot grabs the fabric. Because this project has a lot of what you call loft to it because it's 2 layers of fabric. You may want, if you can, you may want to raise the height of your presser foot, but I find it's okay. So we have this line here. This fabric, like there's no wrong side. So, but you do want to put wrong side down, no, right side down. And we're using that as a guide on right where to put it. And this is also a step they recommend you trim that. Again, I didn't trim anything because you can't see it through. All right, we are going to go ahead and stitch this step. I think this is the one where this little piece got hung up in my presser foot once and I had to rip some stitches out. There we go. So that is done. Same thing, put that in on that line. And then we'll go to the iron and press those open. And then the block itself is done with all the piecing. And the last step is the quilting. Here we are. Okay, so we have these two corner pieces, and I'm just going to pull these out like that and iron those in place. I'm sorry if I look sideways on the screen. I am sideways on my craft table right now. All right, so this is the pieced block finished, and the last step is going to stitch that outline again where your cut line is, and then it's going to go through and do all the quilting on top. I also found that I needed to watch this and use my stiletto to make sure, because you have like the two layers of batting and now all this fabric, it is poking up a bit. That piece right there. And then I always pull this green piece down to make sure it's catching. Everything looks good. Now, once it does that outline step, then usually I don't have to watch it anymore. And then the last step is, so if you were doing clear blue tiles, this is when you would stop and just take it off the hoop and cut, and then sew everything together and use the clear blue tiles to have like the edge to edge quilting look. But I'm not doing that. I am making the basket, which it doesn't matter if you can see the quilting on the back side of the project. So I'm going to do the quilting in the hoop. All right, and then we're going to start sewing. I hope I do it good. Let me go check the comments because I'm sorry I have not been able to see my computer screen. All right. Oh, okay, so we talked about the Altair. Yay, Renee, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Okay, Cindy asks a question. Did you put fusible backing on your fabric? Do you use best press or tutorial magic when you cut your fabric? So yes and yes, but in different ways. All the fabric that you saw for the pieces of the quilt block, I used best press and ironed everything ahead of time before I started cutting all the pieces. All of those pieces do not have any interfacing on the back. Okay, none of these have interfacing. However, the pieces for the lining, which we are going to play with now, so this is our finished block, and we're going to cut that in a second. But the lining, yes, they recommend that you use Shape Flex or the Pellon SF101 ironed onto the back of all of your lining pieces to give it a little more structure. So I've done that already, except for one piece in case somebody wanted to see that being done. But that is for the lining. Yes, we have interfacing. And I ironed all this with best press before cutting, and all of this was just best press and cutting, but no interfacing. I do use interfacing on my spring shower background material though. Let's see. Okay, so Linda said, what is the largest hoop size for that? I need bigger. My largest is 8x12. So the Altair, which is this guy here, the largest hoop is 9.5 by 14. So it is ginormous. The only bigger hoop that I know of than that is the Solaris and Luminaire. Those have a 10.5 by 16-inch hoop. But the Altair has 9.5 by 14. Yes, so Anne says she loves my tool, and she's talking about my my stiletto. I think I put a link for it down below, and it's just like the purple thing, but it has a silicone tip, which I like, and it works for pressing all my buttons on my machine. All right. Okay, so let's cut the block. All right, so I don't need my ironing mat anymore. Now let me show you these fancy things. All right. So I'm going to take my stabilizer out my hoop. Okay, I'm done with the hoop. And I have a few things here, and I put links for everything. This is a Fiskars rotating cutting mat, which I love. And this is the Kimberbell orange pop rulers. I'm using the square one since we're making square blocks, but it comes in a package like this, and you get 3 of them. So you can cut 8-inch blocks, 6-inch blocks, and 4-inch blocks with these. I also have the rectangular set too, but I can't get to it right now. But they have 2 sets, the square and the rectangle. So I'm using the square ones today, and they nest inside each other. So even though I'm only cutting the 4-inch block, you get a little bit more control when you nest them inside each other. And then I have my rotary blade. So what we're going to do is put the block here on the mat, and I have that outer stitch line. That is my cut line. And I just use that to line up with my ruler, and I can see it all very nicely. The way the ruler, it has like these notches here to allow your rotary blade to cut completely through the corner. So when you're done, you're going to see it comes out really nice. I like start on my left, and I use my blade, and I'm using that as a guide so that I'm cutting and putting the pressure against the wall. I have a bad habit of putting my finger here and the blade, so I have to watch myself that I am not putting my finger here. But that's it. So I think it's lined up good. So you just fit the blade in the notches, and I usually go back and forth a couple times. And because it's a rotating mat, I don't have to worry about anything getting moved around. And I just go around all 4 sides. And so when I'm done, I can do this, and I can do that. And I have a perfect little quilt block now. So that's all done. So now we have all 12 quilt blocks. Isn't it pretty? All right, let me go throw this away. All right, so we have all the quilt blocks. Sorry, this thing is not focusing. Focus, focus, focus. So we have all of these quilt blocks now ready to be pieced together. So we don't need this anymore. I think all that's left now is going to be clipping things together. So where are my clips? I should have gotten those out before we started. One of the first boxes we got with Me Time is, it came with these little Wonder Clips. They're all orange. I mixed some of mine in there too now. But these little Wonder Clips were one of the first notions in the first box that I got. So I'll be using those. And I will be following my lovely printed instructions. So step number 1, we put the lining together. Oh, we did not. I had one last piece of lining to iron just in case somebody wanted to see that. So I have all my pieces cut out to size that as it told me in my binder. And I cut a piece of the Shape Flex. I cut it to be slightly smaller. I kind of treated it just like I treat my heat and bond. I'm not sure if there's a better way to do it. I was thinking about it after. Maybe I should have cut a big old piece, ironed it on my big piece of strawberry fabric, and then cut so that my interfacing went to the edge on all of it. So my more experienced sewers, let me know if y'all think that's a better method or if what I'm doing is fine. But the Shape Flex kind of feels like just a thin piece of cotton material on one side, and the other side has this texture to it, and that's the adhesive. So it looks like just a white piece of fabric. So it's a woven interfacing. So it's a lot different than the heat and bond that I'm used to looking at, and the feel of it. Like heat and bond feels like paper. This feels like fabric. And so you put the adhesive side down on the wrong side of your fabric. And I use my big iron for this so that it's easier. And I will iron the back side and then go and iron the front side too. All right, and now interfacing is done. All right, I'm checking. All right, Cindy asked what size and type of needle am I using, and is that what I use for most projects? So yes, I use the 7511 ballpoint embroidery needle, and that is pretty much what I use for almost every project. Okay, so I have this is the bottom of my lining, and I am going to have this right side up. And then the strawberry pieces are my sides. And we're just going to go around and get all of this together. So with right sides together, we're going to go sew this. I'm guessing 1/4 inch seam allowance. That looks good. Let's see. Yes, starting and stopping 1/4 inch from the edges of the fabric, flip the lining right side up. Okay, so we actually want to start 1/4 inch from the edges. So I might mark that because I am likely to forget. Let's see. What is my 1/4 inch mark? I don't know how this ruler I don't use very often. This is 3/8 and 3/16. Let me use my regular ruler that I'm used to. All right, so 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch is here. So that'll help remind me to stop. All right, now let's go back to the machine, and I need to switch it over to the sewing mode. And this is one thing I also love about this machine, because this sucker is huge, right? I do not want to be taking this thing off for all of my little sewing projects because I go back and forth a lot. This is great because I can go home. So I hit OK, I'm finished. I'm going to go home. Okay. And I'm going to hit sewing. And it's going to say the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. And it just moves completely out of the way. And I can put my sewing foot on and sew even though the embroidery unit is still connected to the machine. And so I'm going to undo this. And so this is the embroidery foot, and it actually has a plug on the back of the machine because it has a laser light on it, and the plug gives it that ability. So I'm going to unplug that. And where did I put my sewing foot? Back here. And then I just using the regular, what is this, the J? Regular sewing foot. And tighten it, and boom, I'm ready to sew. And the other thing I'm going to do is take out my embroidery bobbin, and I wound a bobbin with the embroidery thread that I've learned I can also sew with. And so, oops, I want to make sure my bobbin tension is set good. There we go. Now I'm ready to sew. I have my piece here with my mark showing me where to start and stop. And on the machine, I can press some buttons so that it does an automatic back stitch when I start. And I can see my line so that that's showing me right where my stitch line is. So if I line this up with the 1/4 inch mark on my bobbin plate here, that's where my edge of my fabric is going. I have this laser line that shows me right where my stitch line is, and that's helpful with the blocks because I actually have a stitch line on the blocks that I can make sure this laser line is staying with. And now I want to make sure my needle is going where I marked it, a 1/4 inch from the edge. So I'm going to lower my presser foot. That doesn't look like I put it in the right spot. I can't see very well, sorry. Okay, that looks better. And I have my foot pedal down here below, and I will stitch, and it does the automatic back stitch for me, so I don't have to press anything. And I want to stop where my purple mark is. I'm going to stop, and now I'm going to hit the reverse button, and it's going to automatically back stitch for me and cut and lift the needle and the presser foot like everything's done. So now that is out of the way. Now, y'all bear with me because this is also a learning process for me, this whole piece. So we've done that. I'm guessing I should be pressing my seams open. Does it say to do that? Flip the fabric right side up. I think it just wants it out the way. But I'll go ahead and maybe press this. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to lining and sides, right sides together. Clip this. And then I will mark quarter inch from each edge. And go sew that. There we go. And hopefully I get faster as we go. I knew today was going to be a long video. Now that side's done. Okay, Pauline's telling me when we quilt, we usually don't press the seams open. Okay, thank you, Pauline. So we just flip it open. We don't need to press it. All right, now we're going to put the other sides. Okay. What I'm nervous about is when we're done all this, we're going to have to sew these together. So I hope I do a good job on that part. And oops. Okay. Oh, you do press, just not open. Okay. All right, I could do this. I'll do it now. I see what you're saying. And you usually like go, if it's a dark fabric, you go dark side to dark side, right? So that you don't see that through light fabric. Okay. That's ironed. Now let's go stitch this. What is that on my ruler? Oh, this is a thing I got from the Everything Embroidery Market. And it's like a grippy tool. So it just like suctions on there. And it just helps you get a better hold of your ruler. I got it from All Stitched Up by Angela. It's a quilt shop. And she has an online store. And it's my favorite place. All right. I think I have that. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Got that. All right, so far so good, guys. So far so good. I'm just going to go ahead and put it this way. This is easier for me. Okay, and then the last side, and then we'll get to the what I think is tricky in sewing the corners. I'm glad I went back and read the instructions more closely because I totally would have missed the don't start sewing, stop the sewing a 1/4 inch from the edges. I did not see that the first time I read the instructions. All right, thank you, Cindy. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, I really appreciate if you see underneath the video, they have like a thumbs up like button. That helps me a lot because then if y'all like the videos, then YouTube will recommend that other people watch the videos. And then same thing on Facebook. They have a like button under the video. And then if you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. And that will notify you anytime I'm doing a video. Because y'all know I do mostly live videos, and I'm not always the best at telling everyone I'm going to do a live video like ahead of time. So you'll get notified when I go live. And I have a lot of stuff going on this week and next week. What do we have? We have this Friday, we're having Sip and Stitch, and I still need to do a test run of it so I have something to show you, but it is an in the hoop zippered bag from Designs by Little Bee. It's super cute, and she's giving the design for free. So did I post about it? I think I posted it. I think I did that already. I can't remember. But she is giving the bag for free. So when I get my life together, after I'm done sewing this basket, I'll put all the links for everything and make all the info that you need for that project. But that's going to be on Friday. And then next Wednesday, we'll be revealing the Bella box, which is another subscription box from Me Time, but it's different and it's awesome. It comes with 5 projects and like everything you need for the project in the box. So it's a lot of fun, and they have like a variety of different things. Okay, we've done this. Now we're going to do this. Bring these pieces together. And am I supposed to sew all the way through for this one? Let's see. Align the side corners and the top edges of the basket, right sides together. Sew along the corner seam. Be careful to not sew the lining bottom. Then repeat on all 4 corners. Okay, so the lining bottom. So don't sew, once I get to this mark here, I'll stop sewing pretty much. Okay, so I'm lining this up the best I can. And I don't think I have to worry about the 1/4 inch thing. I just know that I want to stop at the bottom here. So I can go ahead and pin all of these so I can do them all at the same time. I do want the top to line up good, right? I am going to feel so accomplished after finishing this, because this is probably the most complicated thing I've sewn to date. The only other complicated, I think, thing I did recently was one of my friend's little girl's dancing costume needed to be altered, and I somehow figured out a way to take it in a few spots. Now it's probably like I didn't take any seams apart or anything like that to make it pretty. I just folded stuff in and sewed on the inside, but I felt good about it. Fit her after we were done, and it didn't look jacked up. All right, so here's our lining. I will go sew on the sides here. Okay, back to the machine. Here we go. So the way I did this is I will work from the bottom up. So I will start my stitching right there. I think. Yeah, that looks good. Oops. I really want to make sure this lines up nice. Okay. And this is, I think, where most people use that blue stiletto to help with stuff like this, but I'll go maybe one more stitch. Okay, and then back it up. Again, I don't know if the reverse stitch is necessary on a project like this either. I don't know that. I know I don't need to reverse stitch when piecing the blocks together, right? Let me get my little stiletto, because that will probably help. There we go. So sometimes you see the embroidery arm might get in your way a little bit, depending on the project you're doing, but it hasn't, for me, it hasn't been so much trouble that I take it off. That is more trouble. Because I have another machine like right next to this one, which is a sewing machine that I still need to use. I got a Juki, which I probably should be sewing this on, but I'm so much more comfortable on this machine that I wanted to do it on here. But I got a Juki, 2010Q, which I bought for these kinds of projects, and I really want to sew bags. That's going to be once I accomplish this basket, that's going to give me the confidence to do a bag. Okay, last one. Okay, yay, we're done the lining. And I thought that was going to be hard. It wasn't. I'm happy. Yay, look at that. I'm so proud. Okay, we still have a long way to go, but I am currently proud. I love the strawberries. My mom is going to love this. This might be a good Mother's Day gift. She likes strawberries, or strawberry print fabric. All right, so the lining is done. We put that aside, right? Okay, and did I miss anything in the chat while I was over there? Okay, let me check. Sheila asks, are there other models of machines that will easily transition to sewing machines? So they all kind of have the same function. So I don't know. I know these larger machines like the Altair and the Solaris and the Stellaire and the Luminaire, the embroidery arm will move out the way. So you can sew while the embroidery arm is on. But they all kind of have the same function where you just pull, they have like a lever underneath and you pull the embroidery arm off, and then you can put the other little piece that makes it look like a regular sewing machine on. It's easy to do. That embroidery arm is just really large, and I have something in the way to where I got to move another sewing machine to get the access I need to pull the arm off. So it's easy for me to just leave it on there. Okay, Robin says she can't wait for the Bella box. Me either. I'm so excited. Oh yay, I'm so glad that y'all are enjoying this, my long step-by-step. But I'm the same way. Like, somebody would show me, oh, you just sew this and you sew this and you sew this. And I'm like, but it's stupid little things like, do I backstitch? You know, the 1/4 inch, all the silly things. Like, I like to see it in person. So I'm glad this is helpful for you. Yes. Okay. Paula's telling me. Yes. Backstitch, reverse stitch this. Okay. Now we are going to arrange our blocks. Okie dokie. And these I don't need to reverse stitch, right? I can just sew through. Arrange 4 blocks in a 4 patch to form the bottom of the basket. So, and then, you know, you can play with these and tumble them to your liking. So if I want to keep them all with the corner, or I can do sideways, something like this, I can do that if I want to, or just keep them all going the same direction, or I can make it, I like this better. I like this. Okay. We're going to see how the top of this one's cream and then red, red, cream, red, cream. But then when it goes down, red, cream. I like this. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. But we want this. So now I'm going to pull this to this and this to this and then sew right here. That's step number 1. I don't think I need to clip these. I think I can line this up without clipping them. Okay, so I'm going to go to the machine with these 2 and sew that. Okay, I'm going to keep this facing up so I don't mess up. Which side am I supposed to stitch? This side. Okay, so I'm going to take the reverse part off. So I don't need that anymore. Okay. And this is really thick. But, oh, I didn't actually put it under the needle. One of the things, and now I can see that red line is going right on my stitch line. I know that I'm stitching in the right spot. What was I going to say? One of the things that's good is that when you trim the batting in that first step, and see, I could do that. This is turned, so this is this way. You trim the batting so the batting is not in your seam, so you get rid of that bulk. You don't have all of that bulk in your seams. I'm not stitching these together, but I'm making it to where I just cut that piece when I'm done. Okay, so I can cut that. Okay, hopefully I'm doing this right. And I'll just cut that and flip these up. Nice. And now I'm gonna make sure I line these 2 lines up and fold this over and now sew all along this. Do I need to press this? Oh, I think my iron just clicked off too. There we go. Okay. And now lining these 2 up so that they look good when I stitch this together. And now we'll go stitch all along here. I will put a clip here so that I don't mess up how I have it lined up. All right? Okay. And where's my stiletto? Because I'm probably going to want that for that little step. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm hitting start like it's embroidery. Okay, let's see how I did. Yay, not bad. I like how these two little points point to each other. That's cute. All right. I think so far so good. I'm feeling good about this. All right, and I'm gonna press that. All right. Now what's next? We got the bottom. Now we need to create all the sides. So we'll do the same thing on the sides. What I want to do? Nope, I want it this one here and this one here. And then this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here, and then this one here, this one here, like that. That's all the sides. Okay, so I'm gonna put these together. And I'm gonna put a clip to remind me where I'm supposed to sew. Put these together. So. And then okay, and now we can go sew all of that so then we have the sides. Okay. I'm checking the chat. All right, Pauline is saying, Carly, if you press on in one direction and the other way, they will nestle in together. So on the back of here, like I folded that in. So are you saying when I sew these and I have that, I should press it this way so that these two seams are opposite of each other? Is that what you're saying? Because I can do that. Yeah, so make sure when I'm doing this, like if this seam is going this way, then I'll make this seam go that way. But they're not going on top of each other, but yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying, I think. Oops. Then Paula said you should iron open bulky seams. I know it's confusing, but it helps. Or iron opposite directions. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, Pauline, it's 3 a.m. Girl, why are you not sleeping? All right, let's go back to the machine and stitch all these. And I just have my clip here to remind me where I'm sewing. Okie dokie. Now we have all the sides. Okie dokie. All right, Pauline, good night. Dream about quilting baskets. All right, so we have all the sides. So let me just cut to these and think about where they go so that I do like y'all recommended and press the seams the opposite. So if this is what I want, then I want the seams going this way on this one. Okay. And now I'm going to line up this. Yeah, and now I got this seam going this way, this seam going this way. All right, I think I got that right. All right, and then we'll do these one side at a time. I think I have the same instructions of the 1/4 of an inch mark. Yes. So this is coming together just like the lining. Okay. Well, let's go back and sew this. Thanks for y'all that are sticking this out with me. I know this is one of those long projects that I tell you I'm scared of. All right, I am going to go and do the back stitch part for this now. All right, I got my mark. I want my stiletto. Where's that? Back stitch. Okay, hopefully that came out good. Yay! So this is the side of the basket. Okie dokie. So that is the side. I guess it doesn't matter which way this one gets pressed. It's going to get rolled up anyway. All right, so now let's think about the other side. This is what I want. And I want the seam to be pressed this way. Oops. Oops. All right, so this seam's going that way. then I line up this. And I mark. All right, I think I'm getting the hang of this. It's lunchtime. We need some craft room snacks. I lost my stiletto again. I think we got it. Okay. Okay. You'll see where this is sometimes getting hung up on the arm, so you just gotta watch it and be careful. Hi, Yvonne. All right, no problems, Wendy. We've been, it's gonna be a while, so you still got a lot more to catch. All right, so this is the side of the basket. I'm just gonna press it this way. This one I'm a bit off. I didn't line this one up as well, but it's okay because since it's the side of the basket, you're not going to see it, that they don't line up perfectly. All right, now we're doing these sides. So let's do this. All right, this, I want when these come together that it's alternating. So that is what I want. And this seam is going that way, so I want this seam to go this way. This way to this way. Lining those up. And marking our 1/4 inch stopping point. Sherry's like, I think I'll stick to the pillow. Trust me, I would have stuck to the pillow too if I hadn't already made a bunch of pillows. And I was like, I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna try something new. It's just taking forever. Okay. And I am probably being a little extra with like lining things up and stuff. I don't know if everyone, like some people just like go for it. It's your seam allowance is going to hide things or whatever. I'm being a smidge extra. I'm trying to make sure things line up right. Oh, I went past my spot. Let's see. Again, being a little extra. Nope, I did good. Okay. All right. That is done. So that side is done. Now that can get pressed up. Now when we do this, maybe I'll press these down. All right, and last sides. Yep, this is what I want. I want the seam to go this way. And trying to line things up straight. And marks. Okay guys, we're in the home stretch here. We'll do this side, then the corners, and then it's putting it all together. Okay, so now I'm just going to stay here and line these up and do the same thing we did for the lining. Okay. Corner one is done. Yeah, I'm trying to get these to line up. Sorry if I'm not talking much. I'm trying to concentrate. Make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so there's our corners. Now these are going to get turned out. So I think that looks pretty good. Not bad. All right, in the meantime, let's finish these other two. Ooh, I'm getting faster. Having a heavy foot there. Okay, and now last corner. Okay. All right, let's see how this came out. All right, this is our outside of our basket, but we have to go put it together with the, oh no. Did I have it on the craft table the whole time when I was stitching? I'm so sorry. Let's see, where am I at now? Table. Okay. This is our basket put together with the now all the corners of the outside, so that now it's ready. Chantel asks, do I have something protecting my pink mat under my wool mat if I get steam condensation through? No, I am bad about this. I usually just stick my wool mat on top of it. I'm not using steam on my iron. Every once in a while, when I do iron something, I'll have a little bit of condensation on here and I will wipe it down. When I'm doing videos, this is where I iron. But when I am not doing videos, I have a table behind me that this sits on. Okay, now we are done with the basket. Wrong sides on the outside. What do we need to do? Now we need to make the handles. So where's those pieces? Here. All right. We need the iron for that. Okay. So step number 1, fold the fabric in half and press. Okay. All right. Step number 2, open it and then fold these pieces into the center and press. And then same thing with this side. And then we're going to fold this in half. And that is our handle. And we're going to go top stitch that. And I'm just going to clip that together like that. Okay. Okay, Maggie has a good suggestion. She uses a piece of cardboard to protect under her wool mat. Thank you, Maggie. All right, yeah, so sorry I messed up the camera. I thought I had it on the machine. All right. Stay right there. I don't want you to move. There we go. I can move that out the way. And then fold this in half. My fabric is hot. Hot. Okay. Ow, this is hot. Like burning my fingers. Okay. Hot. Hot. Okay. That is done. And so now we're going to go to the machine and sew a top stitch on either side. Sherry asks, do we need handles? No, not necessarily. If you want this just to be like a bin on your table, it doesn't need handles, no. But this is a whole new thing for me, so if I'm learning how to do handles, I'm going to add handles. This is my first handles I've ever made. All right, so top stitch. And I'm guessing with top stitch, it's not so much like 1/4 of an inch. You probably want it like as close as you can to the edge, right? Now we're going to the machine. Y'all are seeing the machine, not the empty craft table. Okie dokie. So where do I want to go? What I can do is I can move my laser and make my laser the 1/8 of an inch. And so then I know I'm in the right spot. Let's try that. Oh wait, no, I have a mark on my bobbin. Again, I don't know if a back stitch is needed here, but I'm doing it. All right, so there's the first one. And now we'll do this side. I can make handles. It's now been proven. It's silly things that always like, I don't know if I could do that. That's really easy. We did that. My dog is not happy about something. All right, one side done. Now the other. Okie dokie. We have 2 handles. All right, let's see. Yay! Sarah says, way to go. Oh, Brenda says, what kind of dog? Mine are Ozzy is a Yorkie. Yes, my dog is also a Yorkie. Yes, Brenda says you could hear him fussing. He's crying. He probably wants to go outside. He's going to have to wait a little while longer because we're almost done. What's next? Got the handles. We're taking our lining. We're turning the basket right side up. Place each handle on the basket as shown, right sides together. Measure 1 3/4 from each side of the center seams and pin the handle ends in place. So the handles to the basket. Wait, not the lining, the basket. The basket is pink, right? Yeah. Okay, so the right side is on the inside, the wrong side is on the outside. So 1 3/4 from this center mark. Where's that little ruler? Did I lose it? Here it is. So 1 3/4 is here. And here. So it wants you to put the handles on the inside the basket and put them right where those marks were. So I'm going to put this one here. I'm just going to make sure my handles turn and they're not twisted. And then this is my other mark here. There we go. Like that. That looks good. Now let's do this side. Okie dokie. Now we'll just go to the machine and sew those up. All right. And so sorry, your view's probably not good when I do this because I'm just going to put the box in the machine. Like this. Okay, so that's one. Now let's do the other. All right, one handle is done. Let's do this one. Okie dokie, handles are done. And like we mentioned, I think those are definitely optional. It'll be cute without it too. All right, so here's our basket now with handles. Now what's next? Yay, thank you, Brenda. All right, next we have our outer basket, our handles with the right side here. Now we're going to take our lining, but we want the lining to look like this. So when we're done here, it's right sides together. Let's see how I did on my corners here. Not bad. There's no holes. I was waiting to put this together and then we'll have like a big old hole right there. No holes. Yay. Okay. Now, basket with the quilt blocks in, handles, lining with the fabric out. So wrong sides together. I mean, right sides together. And then we're going to clip it and we're going to sew all the way around except for one section. We're going to leave a hole and then we'll turn it right side out and we'll close that hole. So I think the main thing is I'm just going to line these corners up to make sure that looks good. And I'll do some middle ones. Make sure that feels good. Okay. My iron is turning off. That's one thing I love about that iron, guys. My little one, it's got auto off because I am terrible about remembering to turn it off. All right, and then let me make myself a reminder of some marks. How big? Does it say how big? Just leave an opening. I'm gonna make a decent opening because I'm not always great at turning bags out. So what is that? About 4 inches. A little bit less than 4 inches opening so that we can turn it out when we're done. So now we'll go back to the machine and stitch all the way around here. I'm sure that is going to be interesting as far as maneuvering things. All right, let's see. Wait, I'm checking the chat now. Hi, okay. All right, the actual pattern is this. So this is a pattern that comes in the perfectly pieced April box. So it's showing me step by step how to put the basket together. So I've just been following these instructions. Yeah. Norm was like, you are right. This is a lot of work. Yes. I estimated this would be 2 hours, and it's been 2 hours now. So it's going to be long. Let's see. Let's see. Brenda says you can get Easter frantic and make baskets for Easter. Yes, but I don't. Yeah, no, I'm buying my kids those Easter baskets and doing like we did last time. This is a lot of work. Okay, Sherry said, did the baskets require extra fabric or did it include enough to make the blocks with the lining too? Yeah, so this is what I got in the box. I cut everything for this basket and I had all this left over. So it gives you more than enough fabric to make this basket. I don't know if I could get 2 baskets out of it. I could get creative and maybe make some other fill, like the lining. Like I could do the strawberry part with this fabric and then maybe some of the small blocks. Like I wouldn't have enough maybe of this fabric. I can just use my stash and use something else for those little pieces. Like I think, yeah, you probably have enough to make 2. And if you just fill in small pieces that you're missing with your fabric stash. Yep, Brenda has a good point. You can always make the handles longer. And also, when I get used to it, I will be faster. Thank you. Yes, because I got good at making those blocks. I got quick. And once I did it so many times, where's my starting point I made? Didn't I mark something? Did it already go away? Here we go. When I was making those blocks, I got quick at them. Like I could be working on my computer and make those blocks, and it was like what you call, like I knew what was next. Like it was just seamless. I could just go and make them, and it wasn't a big deal. Okay, what about turning these corners here? That's going to be fun. I'm just going to flatten this out. Okay. Make sure this stays. Okay, I think I got this. Yeah, this definitely makes me think I'm ready to do a bag now. Because when I watch other people make bags, I'm seeing them do all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, that looks hard. But I'm doing it with this. Okay. It's a little tedious, but it's going. Okay. I feel like my lining fabric is coming above where I want it to, but it's not that big a deal. Okay, and I can't forget to stop at my mark. I don't see how I'm going to do this. Do we have to do this again after and top stitch all around? That one's probably not going to look good. Because I'm sure this line is wiggling all over the place currently. Oh, there's my line. There's my mark. Almost passed it up. Okay, we have stitched the top. And here we go. And yes, Brenda said you are going to top stitch around the top. Yes, that's the last step. So we have our hole, and now it's just turning this out. Like I said, I'm not good at turning things out. I probably should have gave myself a bigger hole. Here we go. Especially with how stiff the blocks are. The lining's easy to pull through. Ozzy, I hear you. He's like, where are you at, woman? Okay. Leave yourself a bigger hole than 4 inches. Learn from my mistake here. Yeah, okay. It's a good thing this is the one corner I didn't back stitch at because I was scared. I passed it up. And that's the corner I'm putting all this pressure on. Guys, how am I going to do this? Goodness gracious. Come on, bag. Work with me. Bag. Basket. Here we go. Okay, I'm already tired. Oh my God. Okay, stitching is easy compared to this. I guess worst case is I can use the seam ripper and open my hole a little bigger because it's going to get top stitched back in place. I didn't see anything either, like with recommendations on. They show the opening being small. Yeah, I'm not making a lot of headway, am I? Where am I here? I am going to snip this a little bigger so that I can get this turned out. I need my husband's hemostats. That's what I need. I use those when I do the little in the hoop zipper bags. Goodness gracious, we got it. Oh my God. Yay. Oh, it's going to be so cute. It's going to be worth it. All right, so I'm just pressing these little corners with my finger, making them poke out. Yay. Oh, this is cute. Look how cute. So yeah, all that's left now is a nice top stitch that hopefully I can do a decent job. And try and roll these seams down. And then this is where I messed up here. So I might go, let me go fix this so that's not messed up, and back stitch it here. It's called birthing. Paula, it felt like birthing. It definitely felt like birthing something. Holy crap. All right, I'm just fixing this little corner here that I did not back stitch at, and it kind of ripped. Okay, so now that's not going to pull open. Okay, I can fix that after. And now we need to roll in both of these. Let me do that at the craft table. Okay, so here, all of this is sewn nicely, and I just need a top stitch. So I'm just rolling this so that when I do my top stitch, that strawberry fabric is not over hanging in the front so much. Okay, I definitely deserve a piece of chocolate after this. And I have not been having any sweets for like the past 3 weeks because me and my husband have been on a diet. But I am going to have myself a piece of chocolate after getting this done. Goodness. Okay. All right. Clipping that. All right, here's our hole. So how do I make this look good? I'm going to roll this in and roll this in. Like that. I'll put more clips here to make sure it stays how I want. There's that. Okay. I don't know if all those clips are necessary, but for me, that's helping this stay rolled. And I can probably press that too, but I'm just going to go do the top stitch. I think that's good. So, y'all like it? Let's go finish this sucker so I can eat lunch and have my chocolate, and Ozzy can go outside. All right, where should I start by the hard part? And then also they say make sure you're not sewing your handles, the wrong way. So make sure. So I'll start here at the handle. And now am I doing the 1/8 of an inch one? That might be hard. Oh wait. And if I'm top stitching, I should go on this side, right? I should see it from this side. I don't know. I'm trying to decide where I want the stitch to be. I think I might just do 1/4 of an inch so that I can try and be better at lining it up. Probably don't need the back stitch on this either. now I'm getting to my hole opening. So let's take that one step at a time. All right, this is not so bad. I feel like this is a little bit easier than stitching the lining in with it. Oh, okay. Tell me to lower the presser foot. What's wrong? Lower the presser foot lever. Why is... Oh, the bag's catching up on it. Almost done. Where did I stop here? Okay, I like that laser because then I can try and line up my last stitches with where I started so it looks nice and even. All right, I am going to do a back stitch. Oh my God, we're done. I'm so excited. Yay. That is so cute. So cute. I don't know if I'll have the energy or the patience to make another one, but it is so cute. Yay, I made something. I'm very excited. And I like that it has a nice structure and it's super cute. I just need to go clean up like all the little random little pieces of thread on it, but yay! I'm so excited I made something. Here it is. Cute basket, all the quilt blocks made in the hoop, and so much fun. A little tedious, but fun to put together. So yeah, I'm super proud of this. I can't wait to show my mother-in-law. She's gonna be proud. But yay! This was fun. It was long, but it was fun. So thank you so much if you stuck around this whole time, because this was over a 2-hour project for me. But I mean, this is my first time doing something like this, and sewing is not my first what do you call, like, it's not what I'm most experienced at. But yay, I hope y'all like this. Yay, Chantel says you should be proud. I am proud. Thank you, April. Awesome. Yay. Renee's like, you did it. Okay, I'm definitely going to have a piece of chocolate now. My kids have a whole basket of Easter candy. I'm going to go raid and pick my favorite thing out of it. So that is the April Perfectly Pieced project from start to finish. We got this done, guys. We put a block together and we put all the blocks and the lining together to make this cute basket. I don't know. Maybe now that I've got this one under my belt, I could make more and I could go faster. We'll see. We'll see. But I hope you enjoyed this project. If you get the Perfectly Pieced subscription, if you get the box, you can make just like this. Or you can still go, I think you can still get the box right now if you go order. And you can also just go sign up for the digital subscription, which I think is only $20 a month. And you will get the download of all the files, including all the instructions and the pattern to make this basket. So you can go get all of that right now and then use fabric you have in your craft room already to put this together. Yay, thank you, Christine. Everybody's like, you did it. And my dog is going to be even more excited than I am because I'm finally going to go let him outside now. So that is it for today. Thank you. I know this was a super long video. I still never even drank any of my coffee. I should have been doing that the whole time. But I just wanted to tell you I will be back on Friday for hopefully a quicker video of how to do an in the hoop zippered bag from Designs by Little Bee. And the design is free. So stay tuned for all the info and links for that. I will be hopefully posting the link to the video today, and I'm going to send out an email newsletter tomorrow morning with all the information. But the video is going to be Friday morning at 10:30. If you're not already on my email newsletter list, I have a link for that down below, I believe. We are going to reveal the Bella box next Wednesday. I don't know what day that is, but let's see. The 19th, we will be unboxing the Bella box and show you all the goodies inside. And I might stitch one of the things out before we unbox it because one of the bonus designs that come with it is super cute and I need to make it like right away. But I will show you all the contents of the box and pictures of the projects, and I might have one stitched out beforehand so you can see it. And then what's after that? Then we'll have another sip and stitch the following Friday. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, even though it was very long. And I hope to see y'all on Friday. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.